What you're about to hear is true. Now the names have been changed. America is under attack. You are under attack. Covert Radio takes you to the battlefield and back.
I'm Brett Winterville. Welcome to the Covert Radio Video Daily Blast. It's sort of your chance, your first look at what I'm finding very interesting out there in the world of news, commentary, international affairs, and of course the mighty war on terror. Let's begin with a Chinese report about an elite new fighting force that the Taliban has created, Jihad monkeys. That's right, I appeared on the Curtis Sliwa morning program on WNYM, New York City Radio, AM 970, just this morning to talk about it. The New York Post broke the story based on some chatter and weird videotapes on a Chinese news site in which it's been discovered the Taliban is arming monkeys. I mean, literally monkeys with AK-47s and mortars in the hopes that those monkeys will then go fight in the trenches of Waziristan and eventually find themselves onto the battlefield of Helmand. One problem, though. Monkeys may be able to pull the trigger. They might even be able to drop a mortar shell into the tube. But how the hell do they reload? With those tiny monkey fingers getting the rounds of AK-47 ammunition into the banana clip. And what do they do when it jams? Monkeys have an incredibly short temper. Do they then turn around and mow down the rest of their monkey colleagues in the brigade? And do the monkeys have the opportunity to receive 72 virgins in heaven if they become shaheeds for Jihad? And are the virgins aware of the deal that their prince of Islam, will be a fur-covered monkey? So many questions when you get to the notion of monkey warriors. But here's what's interesting. The Chinese, going into their deepest, most demented, paranoid, conspiratorial selves, have come out and said this was originally a CIA plot during Vietnam to arm monkeys, to teach the monkeys to fight the Viet Cong. And to teach the monkeys to fight the Viet Cong and their monkey brigades wearing little tiny black pajamas. Well, here's my piece of advice for the American fighting men in Afghanistan and any place else they may confront monkeys. Rules of engagement: do not take into account monkeys. Aim low, fire repeatedly until you see chunks of fur and monkey meat flying everywhere. Barring the ability to shoot the monkey, I would recommend you bust out an organ and start organ grinding, and maybe you can get them to dance for some wooden nickels. Speaking of dancing for wooden nickels, though, let's talk about the Iranian nuclear scientist who popped into the Pakistani embassy in Washington, D.C. and declared, "I have been a hostage of the Zionists and the CIA. I need asylum, and I need to be sent back to Iran to tell them I didn't really defect." This raises a couple of interesting questions, don't you think? When you consider the fact that the Iranians are incredibly paranoid people, and when this guy returns to Tehran via a third country, he'll probably get a hero's welcome for about a half an hour, then immediately be taken to Arvin prison, where he will be the recipient of 2 bullets behind each ear, probably fired by monkey sharpshooters in the employ of the mullahs in Tehran. What's interesting, though, is that Barack Obama will no doubt continue the long, drawn-out negotiation and communication process with the maniacs in Tehran. He'll believe that we've actually done a good thing by handing back this Iranian nuclear scientist to finish his important work of eradicating the Jews and the Zionists from occupied Palestine. No doubt that will probably be the case. In a sad twist, though, I want to take us to Africa briefly and talk about what went on in Uganda. The Somalis and the Somali Islamists have warned for a number of months that they wanted to export jihad beyond Somalia into neighboring Kenya, into neighboring Uganda, and they did it. In fact, early this morning, another satchel was discovered with a cell phone ringing constantly, attached to some explosives in a bag. The bag had never been claimed in the nightclub from the night before. One of the workers, I mean, talk about dangerous, looked inside the bag, saw the cell phone attached to some wires and some explosives, and as a consequence, the Ugandan police were actually able to round up a couple of more jihadis, getting ready to continue the campaign of mayhem and murder inside of Uganda. So, what do we have? The present state of the war on terror. Are you ready for this? Monkey jihadis. Pakistani embassy receives Iranian scientist who may have been monkeying around, and Uganda, a place that's got a ton of monkeys and apes and Lake Victoria and a zoological park. That place is now being confronted by the thugs in Somalia looking to suicide bomb people. I guess that the decision to strip out the term Islamist extremism was wise by the Obama administration. Perhaps what we need to put in its place is primate extremism. I'm Brett Winterble. It's the Covert Radio Video Daily Blast. I'll talk to you next time.
You've been listening to the Covert Radio Show, your place for American intelligence. To contact the show, email Brett, B-R-E-T-T, at covertradioshow.com. And don't forget to check out the website for the latest program updates and offers.